Tyler's like, can you feel the light inside? Can you feel the fire? Fire. Hey, wait. Can I sing? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I know that I said I'd release like a bunch of videos during the break, and I have not done that. I fell short on that, so that's my bad. That's my bad. Um, I this break has been like really good. Um, dare I say it's the best break I've ever had? Dare I say that? But um, most breaks, in the past, I would usually have nothing to do. I would have, just like sit around the house, do nothing, want to go hang out with my friends, but due to reasons outside of, powers that extend beyond me, I couldn't go. And I'm realizing that, you know, things have to change. I have to, if I want things to change for myself, I literally have to be the driving force. I can't wait for someone to give me permission to want to go out and do things. I just have to, you know, take it upon myself to go do those things. And while that's given me a lot of, like, I feel like, what's the word? It's giving me a lot of autonomy over my life, which I've really, I've longed for that for such a long time. As a kid, I remember like just wanting to have my own stuff. Like I just not wanting to have my own stuff. Just wanting, every kid wants to be a teenager when they're a kid, and every teenager wants to be an adult when they're, and every adult wants to be a teenager, and so on and so forth. I feel like those things only really come about when we aren't giving sufficient autonomy over our lives, you know. And I guess this is the direction I'm gonna go with the video in, because it's just kind of been like weighing on me. Recently, a lot of family stuff has been going on in my family. So, what's it called? Yeah, I just like, it's weird because, while I'm like discovering who I want to be, I'm finding that I'm making a lot of mistakes. I am like fucking up left and right, and you know, as like fucked up as it sounds, I don't care. Like I don't care that I'm, fucking up. I know that life is going to be so messy. Like I think, and like I want to get into that, like messy. Like why does everybody think like messy is just like, oh, everything's hard, everything's like, no, messy is like literally confusing. Oh, you see, it's so cold in Texas, bro. Oh yeah, messy. Like everybody thinks messy is just like, hold on. Okay, that's like not a pimple. Okay, I was trying to see what that is because I was like saying, what is this shiny thing? People think messy is this like just hard. No, messy is literally like. Let me give you like a prime example. Me and my mom, I think, have such a complex relationship, and I know probably like a lot of people have, complex relationships with their parents. That probably would be one of the most complex relationships in your life. Um, but me and my mom, literally, like, it's like we're the same person, but we're like the same person, but with like I have less inhibitions than my mom, I think. And it's in certain little things. It's in certain little things that we find like this disconnect. We have like the same like fashion sense in a way. Um, we have the same like demeanor, we have the same like, some people say we have the same face, you know. I don't really see it, because sometimes I don't know. Um, but you know, we're very similar, and it's like those little nuances about ourselves that we literally cannot stand about each other. I can't stand. Okay, let me not actually get into that. But it's like little nuances that get us, and I feel like that's the case for just like people in general. Like people, we're so similar, and we don't want to admit that we are so similar to this person. But in ways, you can find relatability in anything, in anybody. And I think that's the beautiful part about life, is that you can literally find companionship. You can find love in like the most weird and unexpected places. But you have to know whether that's love or not. And you know, through taking these like just saying yes to stuff, like just going through life, going through phases, I found that it's really hard to tell whether people, you know, really love you or not. And one TikTok I saw, he was talking about, I guess I'll like post it here or something, maybe, I don't know.
Your parents would rather have you be safe than happy. Like, they'd rather have you be in some job you hate if it gives you a steady paycheck so they can go to sleep at night knowing that you're okay, rather than have you doing something that actually means something to you, even if it's a little bit riskier, because then they go to sleep being like, oh my God, this person's never going to figure it out. I'm a failure as a parent.
But it was saying that your parents would rather you come home every night safe, whatever, and not achieving your dreams, if it just means that you come home safe at the end of the day, because that's their job as a parent at the end of the day, to make sure you come back home every day and you're living and you're okay, you're happy, or maybe not even that. Maybe if you're just alive, surviving, that's what they want. But at some point, whether that be sooner or later or never, um, hopefully not the last one, but you have to decide that you know, comfortability is nice. That's, you know, the end goal. You know, the end goal is to be comfortable. You know, at your last stages, you want to be comfortable, happy. You don't want probably a bunch of new adventures, or maybe you do, and that's, you know, that's the fun part about life. You don't get to do it like everybody else. Um, but um, yeah, so taking those chances on yourself, taking those chances, taking those opportunities to expand your reach, do something new, do something out of the norm. I wish it was so like so ingrained in me, or so taught to me, that that is not going to go over well with many people. It's just not. And I don't want to reinforce this like black sheep mentality, like, oh, you're just the black sheep, no one's gonna understand you, it's a world of isolation, because that doesn't have to be how it is. It really doesn't. You can like, I have found companionship in the most odd people. You know, I, for someone who was raised relatively Christian, I wouldn't say I was raised in the church, but you know, was I was very steadstrong in my faith, and headstrong, steadfast in my faith. Did I say headstrong? That still works for this, I believe. I think. Yeah, I was very just super Christian. I was like, and that was cool. That's awesome. If you're like that, awesome. More power to you. But I was just like praying every single day, da da da, you know. And for that time in my life, that helped me. That really did. But I went through this, I guess, this not phase, this moment where I was just like, this doesn't align with me anymore. And it took a lot of time to kind of get to that level of realization, and for me to be okay with it. I would always like have these moments where I'm like, oh, I'm not Christian, go back to Christian again, go back to Christian, go back to comfortability, you know? And I was not okay with that uncomfortable feeling that it left me, with not knowing how, you know, life after death is going to be, or if there's a life after death, or all these things that made me feel powerless, you know, because everyone wants to be in control of something. And to some extent, that gave me that sense of, this can be my thing. This can be something that I'm good at. This can be something that, people look to me to, and I could have my own autonomy to this. And, you know, ever since I stopped being Christian, or stopped, I guess, I don't want to say I stopped believing in God, because I'm still exploring, and that's the fun part. You don't have to be everything. You don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have shit figured out. Like, I do not have shit figured out. It's fun to pretend like you do. Like, I love people coming to me for advice and thinking that I have everything figured out. Like, I don't. I don't have it all figured out. I would like to have it all figured out, but that's never going to happen. The most put together person that does not have it all together. And you probably know that. So, no use reinforcing that old saying. I know you're probably wondering, like, what I keep looking at and, like, what's this? It's peaches. I mean, pears. I say that all the time. Pears. They're pears. But yeah, like, that change is so, it's scary. It's so scary, but I think it's worth every person having that uncomfortable feeling, because so often, and I kind of like left off that like Christian thing, but actually she just finished that off. The whole Christian thing, I'm trying to get to this place where I'm just accepting of everything, or I'm just like, cool, awesome. That's not what I align with, but cool. But there's hurt there. There's a lot of hurt from the church and stuff, and sexuality, stuff like that. I don't want to put a label on it. I just kind of want to just do me for a little bit, see to discover some stuff about myself first, before I attach myself to this thing and devote myself to it. And I don't think that's a problem. I think a lot more people should entertain the thought, maybe, just like sit with the feeling of unknown, sit with that feeling of this could all be just one go round, like no afterlife, no, just this is one go round, and I need to make the most of it. And it's okay if you don't think that. It's okay if you think that there's life after this. And if what if there is? I'd be wrong. And that's like kind of cool. That wouldn't be cool when I'm like in hell, but it's kind of cool that I can be wrong, and that'd be okay. But enough about that. We change stuff. Yeah, if you listen to that little, like, I've been heavy into like Disney princess stuff, like finding yourself. I've been trying to, like, oh my god, like my literature, my playlists have been all about like, like that Tyler's like, can you feel the light inside? Can you feel the fire? Hey, wait, can I sing? Can I sing? Yeah, like, for real, like that light inside of you, that's such a, all the spiritual, discarding all the, like, the spiritual jargon, like, oh, you have this divine purpose, oh, you have this blah, la, jada, all that stuff, like, just disregarding all of that for a second. I think this is like Brosnan, what should we call it? Sorrowology or something. Sorrowlism. Yeah, like, I think everyone has this like spark in them. I really, really. And I've thought to myself, I'm like, what about the people who literally don't get to fulfill their spark, dream, flame, whatever? Like, that kind of shoehorns so much. Why did I use shoehorn? it like it demolishes that like that like optimistic thinking. I know death is a part of life, right? And I'm coming to terms with death. Like that has just been a just a intense fear of mine since I was a kid. Like I could not. I think because I couldn't grasp what death actually is, and to some extent, really nobody can. No one can give you a surefire answer of what death is going to look like, what life after death, if there is one, is going to be like. And sitting with that uncomfortable feeling is hard. It's hard. It's easy to not think about it. It's easy to put your faith in something that assures you that there is going to be something after this. And it's good to look to science and be like, energy doesn't disappears for the soul. See, it's like I'm telling you, it's just, I hope you can hear this and it's not like me being weird, but like the wind, it's fluctuating with me. Have y'all seen those what are those aerokinesis people? That's fucking crazy. Um, yeah, they're yeah, they're having fun though. Good on them. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, like no one can tell you like just there's no answer to death, and um, I don't know what I needed to maybe hear when I was younger to probably have like silenced this fear of mine, because heaven heaven terrified me, to be honest. I was like, forever, like forever ever, like forever, like forever, like I'm going to forever be here, like to the end, like to for like infinity. I'm going to be here forever, eternity here. Nah, that's not possible. And that terrified me. I was like, that would the thought of heaven was so scary. Like I think I was probably more afraid of it than hell. Like I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna be here forever. No. That's fucking terrifying. For that was terrifying. Not so much anymore. I don't really care, I guess. Um, but like everyone wants like this like, and I want it too. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so different than anybody. Everybody wants an answer to how their life should be lived, including me. I want like to know what I need to do to make this happen, this happen, so I can reach my dream. I want to know what footsteps to follow, but there isn't. There isn't. There is no rhyme or reason. Maybe that's like a line of thinking of absurdism or whatever, but like there's no path I need to take. There's no this, that, this. There's nothing I can do to make me. There's no set foot plan, predestiny that I'm going to follow that will put me to where I need to go. That has to come from you. That literally has to come from you. And that spark I was telling you about, that little echo voice. I don't know what it is, because I think for me, I always wanted to be like an entertainer of sorts. Like I wanted to be like an actor. Like I've gone through phases. Like I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be like maybe a voice actor. Blah blah. I wanted to something in like the theater arts. Just, and years of people telling me like, oh, you're like that. There's no money in that. Like I know. I know. Okay, I know. They're like, there's no money in that. Are you sure that's a stable career? Um, like, let's be realistic. Like, all those things, like, and I know they're there to keep me safe. I know they're here to keep me safe. But I feel like I've lost. Like, not lost. I feel for a very long time I had lost. Not anymore. I feel like I had lost that that drive for myself. I remember I used to like, I was a little kid, right? And I would go to the doctor's office with my parents because I couldn't stay at home, and I would literally do like the Minnie Mouse clubhouse, Mickey Mouse clubhouse mini dance in front of people and just like entertain them in the lobby. I would like cycle through the animations of each of the clubhouse members, like Mickey, Donald, like Log. I don't care. I did all of them, literally all of them, and they're like that entertained them, or they pretended to be, which it felt real. So whatever, you know. So I would do all that stuff, and that made me so happy, like doing all those stuff, doing all that stuff, drawing. You know, I would like trace on the the uh, the desktop, the family desktop. I would like trace and be like, look what I made. And it's just literally like a really badly traced Goku. Like, you know, it would be stuff like that. And that stuff made me happy. That made me so happy doing all that stuff. And then, you know, as you get older, you know, there's a bit more scrutiny to everyone, parents, kids, everything. You're just, I think like middle school, high school are like your heaviest scrutiny, like your introduction to scrutiny, maybe, because I don't know if it gets harder from here. It probably does, but we're not here to talk about that. Yeah, just like everything that made me happy was like perceived as dumb, stupid. I would like I would trace because I was getting into drawing. I wasn't good at it, but you know, I liked doing it, so I did it. And people were like, "Oh my God, that's so bad." You know, that in some ways helped me become a better artist, and in other ways, literally like made me want to give up on it and like entirely. Um, and in some ways, like people were there for me that, okay, let me like line up my thoughts so I don't confuse you. So I was really into drawing, and I wasn't good at it. And then adults were there for me in ways that kids weren't. They would always be like, "Oh, keep going. Like, I think it's good." And I knew it was like pity.
Mommy, I don't think it looks good.
It is fantastic! Oh my God, what's that? Is that hyperpigmentation?
But it was good. It was enough to make me keep trying. So in that way, I felt like there's always been like this connection between me and adults that, you know, they understood that. But when I wanted to do like the acting thing, like I wanted to like, you know, figure out how to become an actor. You know, my parents and adults like laughed at me, and I think that does something to a kid whenever their dreams aren't really validated. And you can think that you're being so realistic with this child. You can think that you're only saving them the heartbreak, and regardless if you think that's true or not, that kid does not need to hear that. I am like the biggest advocate for telling your kids to like chase their dreams, like do it. I couldn't do it, but maybe you can. I never know. And if it doesn't work out, hey, you gave it a shot, you know. But like kids surprisingly were there for me in ways that my parents were. They were like, "Oh my God, you're so funny. You should be you should be a voice actor or something." Like, "Oh my God, like you make animations. That's so cool." And even like my some of my teachers are like, "Oh my God, like you'd be a really good actor," stuff like that. And you know, all those people telling me like what I can and can't do bred this sense of just insecurity in me. I didn't know what I was good at. I didn't know what I should do. I don't know where I should go. But I knew it was somewhere. Like I knew I had a dream somewhere. You know, I knew it was somewhere deep beside all those insecurities and not knowing what I'm good at and what I'm bad at, and you know, it was in there somewhere. And it was recently that I finally was like started reconnecting with that dream that I had when I was little, and found that it still found me with that same longing feeling of wanting to do something more with my life. I guess what I want to just leave you guys with, because I'm kind of running out of ideas sort of a little bit. Not really, but my mom is calling me right now, so I kind of want to like wrap it up. Your change is going to be such an amazing journey, and I would love to hear all about it. I want us all to be able to hear about it, and I want you to listen to the words that encourage you, even if they might be false, even if they might be like outlandish, like they're not true. Listen to it, because you never know what's real or fake. I mean, you never know what's real or fake. So listen to the good, regardless if it's fake, whatever. If it feels right, if it feels good, listen to it. Love you guys. Bye.